Welcome to the show. We at Trucking Life welcome you all. Now, pull that rig over, hit the head, grab a drink and snack, settle in, and let's get this show on the road. And now, your host.
Hey everybody, good morning on this beautiful, beautiful Mother's Day Sunday. This is Brooklyn and welcome to our show here at Sunday Brunch with Trucking Life. We are preparing a special little show for you today where we're just going to highlight a few of the moms that are out here in the trucking industry and doing their thing. And we're going to just take the time to share a couple stories with you guys. So I hope you're doing well. I hope you're all having a beautiful, beautiful day. From our family to yours, we wish you all a happy Mother's Day, whether you are a mother to your own, to someone else's, to you got his, hers, theirs, ours, the fur babies, whatever your situation is, whatever your role is in mothering people in this world. We're so grateful that you're part of our little tribe. I just want to take a moment and kind of share my story, and then we'll bring on some of our guests and whatnot here later in the show. But most of you know, have been a CDL holder for about 17 years. I've only been over the road for about 7 years now. I drove school bus the whole time that my son was in high school and in school and all the things. And I didn't actually go out over the road till he was 18. So it worked out kind of nice that I was able to be the mama I wanted to be while he was younger. I personally have found that even though I don't have younger kids anymore, it's still kind of a struggle because you miss those events still. You miss certain things. You miss certain holidays. You're away from home. So even though my son isn't young any longer and my children that I have with my marriage are not young, we still miss those events sometimes. So as a mom out here in the trucking industry, I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to rub shoulders with other women who have the same situation and may understand what we're going through and, you know, the balances and the juggling act that we try and do sometimes out here. But anyway, that's kind of my story. I personally gave birth to one beautiful boy, and then Johnny. So I apologize. Between all of us, between Johnny and I, we have 4 kids. And that's my son, AJ, and his beautiful bride, Macy. We have Shantae, who is going to be a new mama in November. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to be a mama to that little Eli Jameson Martin. And then we have Amber and Tommy. And Amber has a little girl named Hannah. And so we're so grateful to have that opportunity to be Amber's, parents too, as well as, get to know and love on Hannah. And then we have our youngest, Ricky. And this is Johnny Dean's full on, mini me in so many ways. I'm not going to lie, guys. Ricky is just an awesome boy. And we're so blessed to have all 4 of these kids in our lives and sharing this life with us. I couldn't be more grateful. My heart has been so full this morning on this beautiful Mother's Day. I also want to take a moment to also, just say something about my mom real quick. You guys, my mom gave birth to me at a really young age, and I'll tell you right now, there's no woman in my world that worked harder than she does. She gave me so many lessons in resilience and fortitude and persistence and just persevering, regardless of the odds and regardless of what life is facing. And so I'm teary-eyed this morning over all this love that I feel not only for my own children, but for my mom and the posterity that came before me. Beautiful women, great influencers, and I'm just so grateful. I do want to take a moment and give a special shout out to all the mamas who are in heaven that are looking down on us and um, smiling proudly at the accomplishments that we all, go through in this world. And I'm just so grateful that they played the roles that they did, and so grateful for the opportunity to, smile back up at them and tell them that we love them and we miss them, and happy Mother's Day to them in heaven. So thank you so much, everybody. Good morning, Cindy. Good morning, Dawn. Good morning, Jane. Good morning, everybody. I've seen your post popping up. Love you so much, guys. That's my little story. And you guys, most of you know that, but those of you who didn't, there's my little story. I'm just a grateful mama. That's all it is on this beautiful Mother's Day Sunday. Let's take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to bring on a couple of our own. If Missy's available, if not, we'll grab her when she is. But we'll grab Heather when we come back from a commercial break. And we'll talk to Heather and possibly Missy about their situation as mamas and what they've experienced out here on the road. And then at the end of our segment, we'll bring in our special guest, you guys. We can't wait to introduce you to some additional, just fabulous ladies out here in the trucking industry. So hang tight. Let's take our first little commercial, guys. Trucking Life is proud to introduce you to Margaret DeBalat, aka That Truckin' Chick, and aka Misty the Job Coach. Margaret is a published author and the proud creator of the Margaret in the Morning Show and the Empowerment Summit Tampa Bay. Be sure to follow all Margaret's adventures here on Trucking Life as she drives her passion to hashtag change the world. Good good morning.
Sorry, the dog, because our guard dog here is like 2 foot whatever, but yeah.
Right.
Your little message made me teary-eyed, so thank you.
I'm telling you, Heather, I've been crying all morning. I've been just a mess. It's just crazy. I'm definitely feeling the day. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm feeling it today too. The older you get, the more you feel it, I think.
I think so too. So tell me about your experience being a mama and being on the road.
Well, my experience is different because I don't drive, and when I came onto the truck, I had already been away from my babies because my kids, they lived with their father in Ohio, and I moved to Florida to help my parents or whatever. So when we went through the divorce, they stayed in Ohio, so I didn't get to see them very often. So when I met Pat and we got back together and all, it was nice for me because I was able to travel and get to see them more often than I would have if I, so the trucking industry for me has been a blessing because I was able to stay in touch with my kiddos and see them more often than I would have if I was just stuck in Florida all the time. So, I mean, I thank God that I was able to be on a truck and get through to see them and be able to visit with them as much as I have been able to. So, but I have 2 kids. I have a daughter who I love, and then I have a son who's like, mama boy. I always think he's a mama's boy, but you know how that goes.
Right.
Since you have one. But yeah, and then I have 2 stepkids. I have Hunter and Alexis. And Alexis has a baby, but he's big boy though. He's like 4. He's, But yeah, that's Alexis. And then and then my daughter Haley. And then that's Haley. And then thank you. Yeah, but I miss her very much. So yeah. It's like when you were talking about mamas in heaven, though, I was like, I have to give a shout out to like so many women that I've lost. Well, especially my grandma. See, I'm going to get choked up.
I know we're both right.
We're going to do waterworks all day.
All day.
Can you show that old picture, Jen? Are you able to? It's like my grandma and all these kids.
Oh, look at that.
Yes, that's my grandma. And I'm like down, I don't know which side, but I'm the shorter girl in the middle. And then that's my brother in front of me. But yeah, she like was the greatest woman known to man. I mean, like, she was like everything. And then yeah. So anyways,
Oh gosh.
yeah, but she just made me me. Like, I'm thankful for the things that she taught me. So, I mean, as mothers go, I'm glad she was my grandmother. And then I have my mom's still here, but we're not real close. So Mother's Day sometimes is kind of hard for me because we're not close. But yeah, but not everybody is close to their mother, like
Right.
just life happens. But at least you can make your relationship with your children better than your own. But yeah, I'm
And I can
blessed.
tell you, there are several women out here totally relating to the things that you and I are saying right now that, I think as moms and as women too, we put a lot on ourselves, that regret or, we wish we would have done it differently, or we wish we would have been a better mother, or, that maybe we should have done this differently or something like that.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you right now, as I get older, there's something that I definitely, realize is that we all do the best we can with what we have.
Yes.
And that includes our moms, our grandmas, the posterity ahead of us, and the ones that we're bringing up. We need to share that message with everybody that there is no such thing as perfect. It's okay that life is messy. It's okay that we just do our best and love with all that we have. And however it works out in the wash is okay. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I know, like I said, there's several other women who can totally, they got makeup smeared everywhere.
That's okay. I probably do.
Right. Relate to everything that we're talking about. But you know what? One thing I want to highlight is our board of directors, specifically here at Trucking Life, whether we are moms of our own, of someone else's, our fur babies, all the above, we are a bunch of hardworking women that are in the trucking industry, doing our best to juggle it all. And one of the things I'm so excited is to introduce these two ladies that we have as special guests today, because they're doing the same thing and they are killing it. They're doing such a great job at, juggling life, juggling family, and working their butts off out here in the trucking industry. So, Jed, when Missy does come on, if she comes on a little bit, Missy was having some struggles getting in. So if and when Missy does come on, Jed, go ahead and just bring her in and then we'll work her into the conversation. But in the meantime, let's take our second commercial break really quick, guys. And then we're going to introduce you to Miss Boss Lady Goals, Tavia herself, and Miss Amber Clark here in just a few minutes. And we'll let you guys get to know the beautiful women we're getting to know.
Join our team at Trucking Life, where you will find that Truckin' Chick, International Asphalt Junkies, Miami Pink Panther, Livin' Lovin' Truckin', The Misadventures of Pat and Heather, and Big Rig Ed, among others. We are showing the world our lives through the windshield. truckinglife.live@gmail.com.
Hello, hello. Hi, ladies. Welcome to our show.
Hi.
Hello.
Good morning. Good morning. Well, let's start out with just introductions. Amber, let's start with you. Go ahead and give us a short introduction about you, where you're at, what you're doing, and just tell the world who you are. Oh, sorry, Amber. Are
My
you
name's
still
Amber.
there?
I'm currently in upstate New York. I've been driving for about, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep, you're good. Yes.
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay. All right, so sorry. I've been trucking, driving for about almost 5 years now. I'm currently in upstate New York, and I am now a CDL instructor and a trainer to trainee on the road trainer. And I'm a 3. out here on the road. So yeah, this is a very interesting change for me to out here and raising kids.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining our live show today. And I'd love to delve into some more things here in just a minute in particular. But let's go ahead and introduce Miss Boss Lady Goals herself, Miss Tavia. Tell us about you, love.
Hi, everybody. What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your girl, Miss Boss Lady Goes. But I am a mother of two. They are currently 12 and 6. My youngest was 2 when I first started.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was very hard. I first started with, well, the way I was able to get my support was from my mom because I initially was going to go into the military.
Mm-hmm.
And so I already had my children squared away to where they was going to be going at. And after I cut my hair was longer than that. After I cut my hair, then they told me they wasn't accepting any single parents.
Oh,
Um,
no.
a year later, so my feelings was hurt. They was crushed. Like I never had a job. Told me they was not going to accept me because of my children, basically.
Oh,
So that's
wow.
how I got into the trucking since my children were already squared away about where they would have been staying at, and so that's how I got into trucking.
Well, I love that story. And let's just go ahead, Tavia, and let's go along with your story. Tell me, that's a crazy beginning, and especially with your children being so young. Um, what do you think has been the biggest struggle about balancing, being a mama and being a truck driver?
Balance is very, very important, but it's also a struggle too,
Yeah,
because when you're on the road, you gotta realize you always have to try to communicate, and most of those communications are, thank God for technology, is coming through the phone, coming through your face at the top, theirs at the bottom, or yours at the bottom, theirs on the top,
right,
and they're not knowing what time it's okay to call you because of the different time zones. Also, when it comes down to discipline, because now certain people are real strict on how you discipline your children, so they always got to call you. Or with me, at least, they always getting these calls. I'm like, with my kids. I'm like, Ma, like you discipline me, handle it.
right.
Like what is going on? Handle it. And so, it became a point of time where I had to come home, make time that I come home or talk to my dispatcher. Like, look, I feel like I'm losing my children, like they are um kind of going astray, or they're starting to even be probably disrespectful.
Hmm.
They're not doing good in school. And so what is it? And so you got to come back and you got to talk to the teachers and let them know, look, you can call me at any time, literally. And set those boundaries with the teachers, let them know what is okay, what is acceptable, and like, look, I need you. I need your
Right,
help here with me, and help me raise these children. Be that parent, because I'm not there.
right,
So
right. Well, and I love that point of view because it brings out another point that as truckers on the road, as truck drivers, as women, as moms, who have younger children at home still, you have to rely on so many other people. It does take a village in that situation, to
right.
raise these beautiful babies. And so I can totally see that you're probably so grateful, for the love and support that you have. Um, Let me ask you this too, Amber. Can you hear me okay, Amber?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Amber, tell me about your situation. What's the situation with your children? Are they home? Are they with you? Tell me your situation.
Well, I actually was in the military, and I was married to my children's father 7 years, and we divorced. And I was going through some things in life, and I knew, and they were young when we got divorced. They were 3, 2, and 1. My kids are literally stair steps.
Wow.
And yeah, and so when we got divorced back in 2010, I was going through a lot. My mom had just passed, and our divorce was finalized, and I just was not in the right space. So My husband was like, "Hey, let me take the kids." Like, he was still in the military. I was out at the time, and and it made it a lot easier for me to say, okay, at least they're going with a parent, and allowed me to get my life together. Fast forward, a few years, just in 2018, because I lived in Texas, they lived in Texas, and then they moved to Florida. Then they moved to Germany. That's where they are now. That's the biggest struggle. This is the farthest apart we've ever been on a time.
Wow.
So and COVID did not help that at all.
Yeah.
But it actually be going to see them at the end of this month, because I have 18-year-old now, so I have 16, 17, 18, and she's graduating high school, so I'm super excited about that. And they're very, like, my kids love it. They've been talking to them. They're like, I want to see your truck, or I want to see
Right.
your lights, because I have my LED lights on, and I make them change different colors and stuff. So the technology, like Miss Boss Lady Gold said, that the whole technology aspect, being able to communicate with them, makes it a lot easier. And they also have not only their dad, but they have a stepmom that's basically been raising them since they were younger. So, like, she is their mom, and I tell her all the time, I'm like, look, you're in the place of me. So, she's embraced them, and I've been fortunate that she's like they were her own. And in case with me, when my kids are struggling or they're to be doing, but yeah, they've been living in Germany for the last 3 years, 4 years now. So hopefully this year they can come back to the States, and we'll be able to see each other on a more frequent basis. Because actually, as of 2018 and then 20, they were supposed to come to my wedding, and that didn't have the COVID. I literally got married like a weekend when it happened. And so they weren't able to come because Germany shut down everything. They were finally able to come visit me last summer. Like I said, it's the longest I've been away from them, because I normally was able to them whenever I wanted to. But with them being in Germany, it just was not feasible for me to just go over there and for them to come over here. But because they were older, they were able to fly over here by themselves, with their dads giving them over here by themselves, because when they flew over here, they were 7, 16, and 15. So,
Wonderful.
they so that was an adjustment, and I'm glad Heather kind of understands what it's like to make the sacrifice to say, you know what, my kids are better off maybe in this situation, because I've actually been judged. But people saying, "Oh, what kind of mom doesn't have their kids?" And I'm like, a mom that realizes that maybe I'm not the best parent. That makes me a mom is realizing what's best for my child. A lot of people don't think about that. They don't think about what's best for the child. They're thinking like, "Oh, you're the mom. You're supposed to have your kids." No, if they're in a better situation, I can give them, and I don't want to see them to see me struggle. They weren't born into a life of struggling. I don't want to put them in that aspect, and have them feel some type of way because I'm not ever home because I'm constantly working. It's 3 kids that are, I had 3 kids in diapers at the same time. That was
Right.
a struggle for me. So fortunate that their father is like, let me take on the role of primary caregiver, and I could see them anytime. It was never like a custody thing with court. It was just we basically
Wonderful.
put in our divorce decree. I just had to give him a certain amount of time notice. Hey, I want to come get the kids for this amount of time. So yeah, it's and then being out here on the road, it just, I guess, it had the distance already, because if they were still in the States and I was doing this, because they literally went to Germany like 3 months after I started doing this. So that kind of made it a little easier.
Well, and I think, I love that you brought up that co-parenting is working so well for you, because I think that is such a huge benefit for our children. When parents agree to do this in a good manner, in a good way, and not be dysfunctional and just crazy about custody and visitation and keeping in contact with our children. I think that that's a huge, huge thing. So I'm grateful that that's your experience too, and that you brought light to that, women and men are judged depending on what they choose for their children or the role that they choose to play. And I'm so glad that you brought light to that situation so that we can all have a better understanding and more empathy for each other and understand that, again, we do the best that we can with what we have at the moment. And I think that you are a brave, beautiful woman for deciding, you know what, I need to take a step back for just a minute because my head's not right. My mom just died. I'm just not in a good place. And, you know what I mean? And acknowledging that. I'm grateful that that was your experience and that you shared that with us today.
I had a question.
Absolutely.
Like what Amber mentioned and what you were just talking about, Brooke, about the being judged. Have y'all been judged before, but when it came down to your children? Because I know I've experienced that also, and I wonder if that's like very common as being a mother out here and being judged about us, taking this.
Mhm.
This.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah,
I
I get
think that
judged all
that
the
is
time.
something that women in this industry definitely experience for sure. And I don't think it matters what age your children are. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was actually before I came to do trucking, I went. I was a my background in education is with childcare, and so I
Mhm.
was a childcare teacher, and so I gave her 2 weeks notice, and so when I wrote down told her my 2 weeks notice, and I'm like, look, I'm about to go into this because remember I said I was going to go into the military.
Right.
And so I was, no, matter of fact, military didn't work out. So I said, I'm about to go into trucking. And so I'm so excited. I'm very happy. I'm about to go into the trucking. My mom was watching my kids and so did this and that or whatever. And I'm going to make a better life for them. And I'm going to be
Right.
able to do so much more for my kids. And I'm just going to take this chance. And the director was like, how in the world, this doesn't make sense. How are you going to leave your kids behind and call yourself making a better life for them? You're not even going to be there to watch them grow up. My heart
Well,
was like, wow, like, oh my goodness. Like,
well,
wow.
and I totally see that as the unfortunate society double standard. I mean, let's take a look at that. You know, if the husband or the dad is somebody who works away from home or is gone, you know, all week long, home on the weekends or anything like that, society doesn't blink an eye because they're the provider, and it's okay that they miss the football games. It's okay that they miss, you know, the first couple steps if they're not home. It's okay. But for women, we've put a standard that they need to be the mamas, they need to be the nurturers. Now, normally that's an innate quality that we are given, you know, to be those nurturers, right? But when the roles are switched, the judgment doesn't, you know, stay the same. We are definitely judged, in my opinion, harder for doing something that is okay sometimes, you know, on our husband's part. Now, obviously, that's not everywhere, but I definitely agree with you. I see that. I think that that is something that women in the trucking industry who are mothers as well, that they do experience sometimes.
Yeah. In Miami,
And it's not just
I
it's
agree.
Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
Amber.
I was just saying it's not just us being mothers, it's women in general. Like they all the time people are asking, oh, why are you out here on the road? Why are you driving a truck?
Yeah.
And then when
Yeah.
if I happen to mention, oh, why aren't you at home with your kids, or why aren't you at home with your husband? Like that, like it's the society of role assignments and gender roles. Like I think we're past that, and I just kind of
Right.
opened their eyes to the fact that things are changing. It's not they're
Yeah.
stay-at-home dads now. The women
Yeah.
are out there working and they're stay-at-home dads. And I'm pretty sure they get, why are you staying at home and your wife is the one.
Yeah. What were your thoughts, Tavia?
On the question that I asked,
Yeah.
I think I've answered it. I thought I did.
Oh, sorry, honey. I wasn't sure if you had more to add.
Hmm.
Oh, okay, good. Awesome. So let me ask you this, ladies. So we've talked about being moms out here in the trucking industry. Tavia, what are your personal goals other than obviously being a mama and trucking? Tell me about your other endeavors. Tell me about your other goals in this lifetime.
Outside of trucking, okay. So outside of trucking, this is where everything is just like. So I plan to open. I want to own 5 daycares by the time I'm 38. I got a lot of work to do. A lot. Because I
That's
thought about these
awesome.
goals years. I thought about these goals
It's
like years
possible. You
ago,
got it.
but
You
yeah, it's not impossible. So I mean, I do turn 35 tomorrow. So the
happy
time is ticking. But
birthday.
other than that,
Happy
thank
birthday tomorrow.
Yes, happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, so I want to own 5 daycares, and I also want to. This right here was right up my alley when Melissa asked me to join in with the speaking because I want to do some speaking engagements this year. So y'all helping me cross one out
I
um,
love that.
this year, um, and I also want to open up a jewelry store. I do jewelry. I'm a jewelry designer also. Say hi.
Oh, look at the kitty.
Hi, kitty.
Yeah, no, I
Hi,
hate
kitty.
cats so much better. She got me on a cat. That's another goal. I'm on a cat journey, and I'm not a cat person. And I was actually, I hope I'm not going too far off topic, but I was on the truck when my boys called me, and my mom don't do pets. She don't do pets. I'm a dog person, so they called me. They was like, "Ma, look at the cat." So they found the cat in the gutter, and I was driving. I was like, "Ooh, it's cute," and it was chasing my little son around, whining. And then I said, "Don't bring him home." And next thing you know, when I got home from the truck,
There's the
I'm
kitty.
I'm backed up with the
Aw.
water, screaming, and the cat was so tiny, and she made it. I mean, I done paid like about $250 to get out the
You had a cat.
tree. Yeah,
That
and
is hilarious.
not the cats from back in the day. She done maybe used to be embarrassed and stuff about calling the fire department. Get the cat out the tree. They was like, we don't rescue cats out the tree. But other than that, those are my dreams. Those are my goals.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. We were just commenting about your pineapple up in the up in the corner of the screen. I love
But
it.
that's actually one of my jewelry displays.
I love it. It's cute. Way cute.
Yeah, that's a jewelry display. I gotta when I sell my jewelry and I go to events, I gotta put a little sign that says not for sale.
Not for sale, right? There you go. So Amber, tell us about you, honey. Other than being a mama, being a truck driver, what else do you got going on in life, and what are your goals for the future?
Well, you got a pretty smile.
Yeah.
Well, I just turned 40
Amber?
last month, and so in the 10 years, I want to own 3 trucks and be
Awesome.
able to have 3 trucks to do. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
okay,
sorry. There's a
good.
little
Like, there's a
delay, but
delay, so
but I
sorry.
can hear you.
But yeah, I wanna have my own trucking company, basically something that I can pass on to my kids, that they can. Okay. I want to pass down my trucking business wealth because I think that's a lot of issues within a lot of different communities that we don't pass things down to our children, and I want them to be able to have something to build on. Something I've been picking up lately. I have my own podcast, so I have like the microphone and stuff. I just want to share my
Yay.
experiences as a female here, because when I came in 2017, were not as many female drivers as there are now. So share my like the things that help keep us safe and things that a lot of don't think about on the truck. How to maybe be creative with storage or how to cook or how to eat healthy or just pointers for women. Just a resource of for female drivers that are coming in. So that's what I've been doing now.
Awesome. And I agree. So Miami Pink Panther is one of our own here at Trucking Life, and she just commented and she just said, both of these ladies have awesome future goals, and I agree. You guys, have definitely set some goals for yourselves that are totally attainable. They're going to take some work, and I can see in both of your eyes that you are willing to do what it takes. You're going to get out there, get it done, and just make the best of this life that you have. I love it. I love it. So let me ask you this. And Amber, you kind of touched on it a little bit there. What is your opinion, you two? I'll start with Amber and then Tavia, um, regarding your children getting their CDLs. I personally, we have told our children, even if you don't do it as a career, we highly recommend that you do get your CDL, just because it will always be there. It will always be an income. There will always be a job. And so if something else doesn't work out, you can have this to fall back on, even if you don't choose it as your primary career. But what is your opinion, you guys? Amber, what about you? Are your kids excited about possibly getting their CDL? Do they want this industry? What is your experience?
Well, I told them long time ago that they can get their CDL. I would like for them to at least be able to know a little bit of the business and marine biologist. My 17-year-old is my son. He's supposed to be an aviation engineer, and then my 16-year-old,
Oh,
she wants to be a flight attendant. But my son always shown interest in also learning the business. Like when I first went into trucking, when he was 16 years old. Business is successful, and you can become a if the business is successful and it behind the scenes things, and not necessarily have to drive, but at least you have that CDL. Like you said, also too, it can if you ever have to just do something. And so, despite what they say about autonomous trucks and self-driving trucks and all this stuff, like no, that's gonna take some time. So yeah, I'm so
awesome. Awesome. Well, Tavia, let's have you answer that same question. How do your children feel about trucking and the trucking industry? And what are your thoughts for them?
My oldest one, he's over it. He is over it, and I think it's because his granddad is a trucker too, and would take him on the truck, but he's not fascinated with it. When I would take him over the road, then I try to find fun things. After you know where you're going at, then you can always find those good places. My little ones, he love it. He's with it. They love just they make you feel like you almost like a superhero. you
Yeah.
know they see you come in with the trucks. They want to ride every time you pull up. They want to be able to get in the truck with
mm-hmm.
you. Well, look, the little one, and the good thing about it is they learning the rules. They learning. My little one can tell you all the parts of the trucks, and he knew that when he was at least 3. He was able to identify
Wow.
the landing gear, like the glad hands and everything. So I think he is more. They're both. Matter of fact, the oldest one did mention that he wanted to do trucking, and I asked him for his own reasons why. So they do know that they can make decent money out there. It depends on where you go, what field you go in. Um, and I know that if it's me, I would prefer that they at least have their CDLs for the same reason that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Um, always, and just at least just to keep it up. And with
Yeah.
me, like I want to own at least a fleet of 5 trucks, because I know that it's a lot of work, and I would like for them to be able to help manage with that and get their own. At least one of them, at least get
Right?
something, And I think that it just let them know that because we are women out here, that y'all can definitely do it too. This is your mother out here doing this kind of work. And so hopefully they are my two boys. Camden is the younger one, and that's Caden, my older one.
Oh,
So yeah.
I
Uh,
love it. Love it. Well, ladies, I just want to say from the other ladies here at Trucking Life as well that, we're so grateful to rub shoulders with, beautiful, independent, strong women like yourself out here in the trucking industry, out here in the world, just trying to make a difference. And I can tell that you're good women with strong hearts and goals and just ambitious. And I love that. I love that you're out here influencing others. You're sharing your stories, sharing your experiences, and just trying to make a difference in the world. I don't know if you guys have gotten to know Miss Margaret Devalot, that trucking chick. She's one of ours that's on here sometimes, but she's got a movement that's called hashtag Change the World. And I'm going to tell you right now, ladies, I totally put you in that category as change makers. You're out here trying to make a difference, and I think that you are doing a great job.
Thank you.
So before we close, let's start with you, Tavia. Is there anything that you'd like to add that we haven't covered today on our Mother's Day edition?
Well, because it's Mother's Day, I do need to stop and Mama, thank you so much.
Right?
I'm telling you, I would not be on this truck. I don't know what I would have been doing if it was not for her, for her alone, because she is still watching them. But now she's like calling, when are you coming back? And I'm like, gosh,
Right?
yes, on my phone, I could be almost home. And she's like, where you at? Where you at? Come and get these boys. And
Right.
but I thank God for her, because she really helped me with this journey. And that right there is such a blessing. So if you got the support, there's some people out there that is wanting to do it and they are scared to leave their kids behind, and is you got to be able to do it, because your children should not stop you from reaching your goals. Because what is it that you're teaching them whenever they have something that an obstacle? I don't want to say your children are an obstacle, but whenever they have challenges that may come up and you don't want them to leave, stop their goals. I think that it's just going to show them how strong you are. But if you ever think about trucking, just make sure you go with it, because you don't want to look back when you get older telling your grandchildren or somebody, hey, and they're saying, hey, grandma, guess what? I'm about to go to trucking school. And you're like, baby, I wish I would have did it back in the day. So just do it. I think it's the best thing that I ever did. This is one of my biggest accomplishments. When you could walk up to that truck and you at that point, or you go inside and you come back to that truck, you're like, yo, that's me. I
Right.
did look at that.
Look at that sexy girl.
And you could be like that and be classy at the same time, and then you're gonna have people that they sucking their teeth or whatever the case is. But being a woman out here, or whatever the situation is, as far as my story, you get so caught up with being rough, and sometimes you
Right.
gotta paint your nails, or sometimes you gotta put a lip gloss on, and just
That's
remember,
right.
look, nobody probably gonna see me, but that do make you feel good. Whatever your hygiene routine may be, or make a routine,
Yeah,
just to make sure that you are still important out here. You're not just on the truck.
absolutely.
But I really thank y'all for having me on the show, and just know that trucking can be the first day for the rest of your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I love that. And we're so grateful that you came on the show with us today as well, Tavia. So Amber, anything else you'd like to add or say that you haven't had an opportunity to discuss today?
Okay. Yes. I want to apologize for the technical difficulties. First of all, I hate
It's
that.
okay.
Um,
We're truckers. It
but
happens all the time.
I want to thank you for the platform, for being able to open it up for mothers, and mother truckers. Because
Right.
Miss Melissa, she, that's her thing,
That's
and
right.
it just makes it. It helps me realize there's other women out here going through the same thing. I have a trainee right now that's experiencing being away from her kids for the first time for a long period of time, and it's hard on her. And I tell her all the time, it's going to get easier. Every day goes by. You just make up for it when you do go home. But I do want to say that this Mother's Day is definitely different for me. There's my babies, my Anicia is the one at the top. Catherine is my youngest in the middle, and my son JJ is at the bottom. And this Mother's Day is different for me. My grandmother passed in March, this past March, and my other grandmother passed in April of 2020 due to COVID. So I still remember all the things that they instilled in me as a woman, and I just want my kids to see that no matter what, I'm still going to push through. This is definitely a career field that is not for everybody. It's because I try to tell people this is not just a job; it's a lifestyle.
Yes.
Especially if you're over the road, it's a true lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And you have to really commit yourself. And I want to show my kids that hard work, dedication can actually pay off in a way that you never, thought of, especially my girls, because I don't want them to think that they can't do, there's nothing that they can't do out here. This job is it's very demanding, and all the women that are mothers out there that are doing this, I know it's an extra hard, extra difficult being a mom. So, and being out here on the career, in this career field, because we already dealing with stuff as women, and then you're adding on the fact that we're mothers,
Right.
and but my kids are always talking, they're so proud of me, and that they actually recognize, man, Mom, you were out there with the first responders out there during coronavirus. That was, I don't know how many of you were out there
Right.
driving during COVID. Oh my gosh,
Right.
I felt like hello, can I at least get a shower? Can I
Right.
can I get
Shower,
some food?
anything. So bad.
Right. Yeah, it was I felt like we were treated like we were hailed like heroes later on in the year, but in the very beginning it was like we couldn't get anywhere, like we couldn't get nothing. It's like if your truck ran out of stuff, you was like, sorry,
well. Yeah. It was so you're right. It was kind of crazy, but the one part I did enjoy, and we were talking about the other day, was that less people on the road. So
yes.
a little less.
That was like the best part.
Right.
Yes.
Well, ladies, I like I said, I couldn't be more grateful that you came and joined us today, that you told us your stories, because there are women out there right now watching who totally empathize with exactly what you just said. So you helped, reassure their mind that they are doing the best that they can, and it's okay. Reach for your goals, do the things that you need and want to do in this life. No regrets, ladies. No regrets. Let's just keep reaching for the stars and being the mamas, being the women, being the influencers, and just being the examples to that posterity that's coming up after us.
Love it. This
Yeah,
is nice.
thank you.
Yeah. And ladies, you can go ahead and find this recorded live show on our website at www.truckinglife.live later on. So you're welcome to share this with family and friends, share it all over. We're going to keep it posted forever. But we would love to, have you both on future shows to discuss all sorts of topics. We're all about networking and rubbing shoulders here in the trucking industry, here at Trucking Life. There's 6 women on this board of directors that we have goals, to just show the world what's happening in this industry. And we thank you so much for being a part of that journey today.
Yes.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Miami Panther. I was just thinking about, I want to join the
Right?
Trucking Life platform.
Right, exactly.
Thanks for all the
Absolutely. I was just going to say. They need to be ours.
I agree. I agree.
Thanks for having me.
You're so welcome.
Yes, thank
Thanks
you.
so much, ladies. And you both,
Thank you.
all of you, have a wonderful Mother's Day. Enjoy your Sunday,
too.
whatever that looks like. Be safe out on the road. And we'll go ahead and invite you to future shows. We'll be having more conversations.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely. Thank you.
so
It was so much fun. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy
Thank
Mother's
you.
Day.
Mother's
Thank
Day.
you. All right, Jed, let's go ahead and run our final.
You're watching TruckingLife.live. Thank you for being with us today. Please like, follow, and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any more great content. We'll see you out on the road.